Huge subject, so talk fast. Like many people, I have been fighting the P wars for the last several years. As a breeder, of course, this is considered fairly normal. One of the first questions they will always ask you, they being everybody, are your cats spay and neutered? Well, now mine are. Let's take a look at my arsenal here. So we've got the cats are spayed and neutered. We've checked the health issues. That's the second question they'll ask you. And they've given me a lot of advice. Let's see what happened to my house with all of the advice I've gotten. This is the bulk of the P-War arsenal in the Mythic Bells household. In the foreground we see heavy duty black light. That's the yellow thing with the cord. Very cumbersome, but it's very effective. Two smaller black lights in the background. Got a box of disposable gloves, paper towels, little baggies. We've got fell-away. I'd like it on the record that I noticed that a lot of people pronounce it feel-away. I'm going to pronounce it fell-away. Funny little figure in the back that looks like a funny little figure. That's a little adventure of mine called the Scare Kitty. We have a fell-away diffuser. We have a spray bottle full of my vinegar solution. White box square thing is cat scram, which is a silent motion detector device. And on the right, it's a stay away noisy can motion detector device. These are the deterrents. Step 1, I'm calling cat herding. You want to pick your battles. Where do you want them to absolutely not go? Generally, this is going to be carpeted areas. The couch, the entryway is a big area for cats to hit. But you're going to want to leave them other areas of the house that are easier to clean up, because where you block them in one place, it's going to pop up someplace else. Here's the entryway. After lining up with Scare Kitties, I finally put a cat scram in here, which I didn't want to do. Now I have the entry protected. The perimeter of the living room is protected. Each cat scram is paired with a Scare Kitty. Scare Kitties provide two functions. They actually begin to associate the Scare Kitty with the deterrent device. At least that's my hope, and has been my experience to some extent. The Scare Kitties also provide a way of blocking certain areas if the cat sprays up against the wall. This is behind the couch. Couches are also a big hit area. You can see I set off the cat scram over there. You can see the light blinking. Things you might have to give up. Entry rugs. It had to go. I may be able to put it back now that I have the cat scram there. Bathroom rugs. Out. The kitties will pee on that every time. Also, you know those swell little Cecil mats I have outside each litter box? They had to go too. You know all those little wonderful piles of papers and books and clutter and various little knickknacks you have around the room? You're going to have to get rid of those. Clutter is death. Another bit of advice I got, and you will too. What about those cats outside? The feral cats, the cats that are spraying outside, that are aggravating your cats inside. Well, here's a cat stop. This is also a sonic motion detective device, and I have it set across the only way the cats can get into my front door. Just going to cover all the bases here. One other little tip that I got was to keep a journal so that you know what works, what doesn't work, what you've done, what you haven't done. I think this is an excellent idea. Time to take a tour inside and see what kind of havoc we've wrought inside the house. These are the fell-away failure areas. After 45 days of fell-away, this spot was still being hit. So I built a little box that is lined with linoleum. Here's another fell-away failure spot. Every fell-away failure spot gets a box with paper towels in it. This is actually working, by the way, which of course means the cats are winning, but it also means that I'm getting my way as well. This is becoming an acceptable place for the cats to pee. What I'm doing here is changing the unacceptable places to acceptable places. This is a normal litter box here, elevated in the laundry room. So we have boxes in different areas, we have boxes in different heights, we have different kinds of boxes, we have boxes with different stratas in it. Here's another box. This is an acceptable box. Over here on the wall, protected with a little bit of paper towel. This is actually a fell-away success spot. It has not been hit in a long time, but it does protect the wall in case it does get hit. Here I'm now using a caddy. I don't have all of my tools at each spot. I take the caddy from litter box to litter box. Moving on to this study, which has become litter box central. I've got more litter boxes in here than I have in the rest of the house. Paper towel litter box over there in the far corner is the breeze litter box. We've taken the pellets out of it, which I don't like, and it has become a toweled box. I've got a toweled box lower and upper here on the shelves. These are all fell-away failure spots. Fell-away failure spots directly outside of the normal litter boxes. So now I have a normal litter box next to a toweled litter box, and this is actually working. This is a litter box upstairs, the top of the landing. Upstairs is a fell-away success area. We're not seeing any more hits upstairs. This is a litter box in the bedroom, and I do have the little pee pad outside here. It's just for catching litter. The cats are no longer peeing there. Actually, they were probably never peeing there in the first place. They also have litter boxes outside. This is a litter box right outside the front entry. This is covered. It's also waterproof. My second litter box outside. This is covered and has an awning over it, so it is relatively waterproof. And I also have a litter genie out here. In summary, I should say that my issues are not nearly as bad as some people's I know. I basically really only have one consistent perpetrator, and that is little Sequoia, and I suspect that her fluffy little bottom prefers the towels as opposed to the litter for peeing, and she uses other boxes for everything else, which is definitely a blessing. And there's a couple of other cats that I do have some periodic issues with. Nugget, for example, has been kind of a nervous cat for several years. Simicon no longer sprays since he's been neutered. I've caught Kalahari a couple of times, but he has not been caught in weeks and weeks, so whatever I'm doing is apparently effective for him. People have accused me of actually training my cats to pee everywhere I've put a toweled box, but I will have to remind them that this is where the fell-away failed, and now I am no longer cleaning up puddles in those spots, but I am simply cleaning up a toweled box, which is a very simple procedure. Wad up the towels, give it a spritz of vinegar, and off you go. Obviously, the cats are winning. The cats always win, we know that. But everything is contained, and it's so far working. It's definitely a work in progress. I wish I could tell you that I had magic solutions for all of you who have similar problems, because I know that some of you have issues that are much more difficult and intractable to work with than what I have. But this has been my situation and my adventure so far.